So we are just in time for formation lap here, I'm pretty sure. We should be. I'll just get something quickly. Just have to fix something real quick here, hold on. Okay, so very good. I've got another excellent try from one down. Thank you very much. So Joost is on pole position, together from Steve on the second place, Chapalele in P3, Dylan in P4, Mariah in P5, Raul in P6, Luke in P7, Tim in P8, Phil in P9, Jordan P10, Dafifa P11, Felix P12, Javi P13, Arpo Gamer P14, Sam P15, Letteron Berry P16, Compassion P17, Reisman P18, Jamil P19, and Lion in P20. Now, so I'm gonna leave the channel on for a bit. That could be one of the reasons why it's so shit. Yeah, this is really shit. I restarted my internet, so I hope it's alright this time. So I guess I won't use the chat. I won't use the chat. Sorry guys if I missed any messages of you. Meanwhile, Joost lines up as to him P1. So this is the last time I'll be speaking to the chat. I'll turn off my iPad so I won't be able to see the chat. Thank you. So then, finally after then a lot of complications with the stream, we are finally here, ready to go racing in Canada. Let's go out and away we go here for the round 4 of the Canadian Grand Prix, and Chapalele has a terrible start. He drops down quite a bit. Oh, that's Dylan, sorry, excuse me. Chapalele does try to go for a move on Steve there, and there's McLaren spinning in the background. Now this time, I'm pretty sure Chapalele did spin around. Terrible start for him. And Mariah moves up to P3 from Raul, from Dylan, from Phil, from Jordan, from Tim. Tim is the leader. And there's massive desync between Raul and Tim. Felix also down a position. Now who's that going very slowly there? I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure who that is. There's still terrible desync going on between these. No, it looks like it's to be fixed. And Dylan's dropped down a quite a few positions. Oh, he's getting mucked off here between Luke and Tim here. Nearly a freeway battle going into the corner there. Oh, Dylan goes for an ambitious move on Raul, and there's loads of bits flying around there. And oh, that's the championship leader. We're out of front wing. He won't be extending his gap then, so that will mean big opportunities for the man behind this Renault driver. Very ambitious move there from one of the Haas cars, and I see another driver spinning around. That's Dafifa. He won't be happy with that as he retires from the session, and Arpo Gamer goes P1. I'm pretty sure he also has some desync. Yes, he definitely has desync. I wouldn't see a way how we would pass everyone so quickly. Yes, he P16 desync that from the game. Joost in P1 leading away from Steve and Marine. Raul follows in P4 from Phil, who's made up a tremendous starter actually, as he was quite a few places down the order. Well, when he won DNF after 2 laps of racing. Phil closes right up on Raul and Marine here. Meanwhile, Chapalele's already making up places. So did Jamil on the start, as he did start P19. Moved up a few places. I'll just quickly bring up the Track map, full track map, lap data. No, well, I won't do that. Let's just see position change. You can see that for yourselves here. Meanwhile, Joost and Steve did keep their original positions. Don't mind the desync of Arapel Gamer. He's really desyncing quite a bit. Got a message frame from there as Phil has been, no, he's not been passed by Jordan. That could be more desync, I think, or has he generally been passed by him? Yes, he does look like he's generally been passed as Jordan is moving his way up the field. Chapelato nearly getting into the points already again after a very odd spin at turn 2. Jamil does fight back at Chapelato there. It seems the midfield driver is not giving up. And the hard driver goes down the inside into the chicane. And he is once again passed, but Jamil could get him back here. Meanwhile, there's also a battle forming up for P3. Or no, actually P4 seems to be way closer. Could Jordan go for a move here down into turn 1? He doesn't do it. And Arapel Gamer retired from the session as the probably most likely the lag has become unbearable, and it looks to be a safety car. Meanwhile, Jordan smashes into a rule under the safety car, and that's the first safety car of the day. Very weird, I don't get a notification of that, but I'll have to do. And a safety car will come out nicely for the likes of Dylan, and Chapelato will be right back into the pack. Look, I'm guessing yours won't be too happy with that one. And I'm guessing there will be many safety cars here today. I guess of the new update Codemasters have decided to put in. Now there are almost, of course in F2 we had 4 safety cars. Every time there's a little bit of debris on the track, a safety car has been deployed. And it's gone from the one extreme to the other extreme, really, from almost having no safety cars deployed to almost every little debris on the track there's a safety car, or a virtual safety car, really. Which you could say is realistic, but it's very frustrating for the guy who's leading the pack, of course. Meanwhile, Raul and Jordan do decide to come in. Jordan, I know, has a bit of fumbling damage. Luke also decides to come in and get rid of his soft tires there. So that's more likely the McLaren boys are double stacking here, and that's very unfortunate considering Jordan also had to make a wing change, so SR Compassion had to wait even longer there. Legend Raul up to down to P10, I would say, and P3 and P4 for the Mercedes boys. And Joost behind the Mercedes safety car, eager to get on the way again, I suppose. And that's one safety car and counting, of course. And Phil and Nathan Berry are getting a bit argy-bargy, or is that some more desync? Yes, there is more desync. Desync, the desync does seem to be a reoccurring problem since the update. Felix moved up quite a few places from his P9, I believe. I'll just bring up that real quick position change. Steve and Joost keep their position unchanged. Meanwhile, Marijn moved up 2. Philip moved up 5, and Philip moved up 7. Xavi moved up 7. Lieutenant Barry moved up 9. Jamil moved up 11 places, and Rice moved up 9 as well. And Legend Raul dropped down 4. Of course, he did already make his pit stop. To be fair. And it looks like we are getting on our way again, I believe. I do not see the safety car inside again. So Joost is dictating the pace right here, and he'll be eager to get away from Steve, which he does seem to have done so, as we are racing again, I believe. Yes, we are. And we are on the way, and we are green again, and let's hope that's the only safety car we'll have this race, of course. Well, actually. Oh, Raul back unsafe for joining together with one of the McLaren cars. There's a massive power up, and the safety car might be coming out again soon with all this damage flying around the place. What a disgrace. What were Raul and the McLaren car doing there? As there was a lot of unsafe rejoining there, I did see. And Jordan once again without a front wing. Is that another safety car? No, we seem to be clean on safety cars. And of course, Tim is only in P10. He won't be sending his championship lead. Lion moved up quite a few places as well from his last place. Meanwhile, the McLaren boys are bellying it out, but it's not really a fair fight considering Jordan has no front wing anymore. Oh, the McLaren boys crash into each other, and they have been collected by one of the Alpha cars. That's Jamil. He has been lucky, hasn't? No, he's been unlucky and has got some front wing damage of that. And McLaren boys crash into each other at the straight, so X-Team Boss F1 Neutral won't be happy to see that one. And there's another safety car just after we had another one. A very, very weird accident, and we've gone from 1 DNF to about 5, I believe. Yeah, 5. No, 4, sorry. 4 DNF in a very short space of time. It's a virtual safety car this time, not a full safety car then. But with all the debris flying around the place, it might be very dangerous puncture-wise. Of course, we do know in this game you can get a puncture from driving over some debris. So I did have that happen to me in a career mode race once. Now will Raul and Jamil be able to make it back in time for the restart? Now could this part of the strategy even more, considering these guys might up to pit. No, we already are green again, and Marijn looks to attack Steve after the War of Champions here, but Felix has to do the same on his teammate Phil. Xavi holding off the superior Ferrari car, and Felix has slowed down a bit. Because he took that corner a bit awkwardly, I think. Team after damage on lap 1. Very chaotic race, I must say. Jordan left the session after coming together with his teammate, and Felix goes for a move on Phil, and Phil looks to be under attack. Phil's left the session. What? Phil's left the session again. Wow, was that after he did the generally disconnected, or was that after some contact with friend and rival Felix? He's disconnected from the session, just like last year, but this time he's going even slower. I'm pretty sure the AI is at 10% this time instead of 40. Phil has rejoined back, and he will be unhappy to see he's got some front wing damage and dropped down in quite a few places here. And he's left the session once again, so there is a massive internal problem for him. Meanwhile, Ferrari and Mercedes are running for a stop. And Ryan goes on to the medium tires together with Joost there, I believe. Yes, they both up for the medium tires together with Rice and Phil. And I hope Phil does go on to the medium tires. No, they put him on soft tires. So Phil's been screwed by the game again here. And Felix, meanwhile, goes up to P2 after all that rounds of pit stops. Javi finds himself in the podium position. Of course, won't be lasting long. Well, actually, he's on the medium tires, so he might be able to hold off some quicker drivers. And he's not falling too far behind the rest of the drivers here. F1 Neutral says in the chat, I'm not happy on Team Master McLaren anymore. No, I suppose you're not. And Steve opts to go to the mediums as well under racing conditions instead of on the safety car conditions. And the Red Bull boys put on the medium tires and he goes away racing again. His teammate Lion behind his fellow Dutchman. On Tim and Luke, who've not got off to a great start. Riceman retired from the session at the War of Champions where so many great legends crashed. Riceman joins him. Them, sorry I should say, not him. And he won't be getting off the place anytime soon. Another safety car number 2. I think it's a bit overkill with the safety car, I must say. Meanwhile, Phil does return back. Will he be able to take control of his time there? I don't think he'll be able to take control of his car as he wasn't able to do so the last time. Felix will be happy to see this. Oh, it's a virtual safety car. It's a bit stupid the game doesn't tell me that anymore. I suppose that's an issue with my settings, I guess. Maybe on screen display. No, everything is right there, so very weird. There's not a message for whether it's a safety car, virtual safety car. Travis is holding off Dylan and Ladron for P2. And very weird that these guys didn't go up for another pit stop. Phil has rejoined back. Just as last season, he's disconnected again. Will he be able to move himself up the order here? He goes on to a set of new tires, but what tire will he go? For the hot, he goes to the hard tires. He goes for the hard tires as he has more front wing damage there. I'm guessing he's opting for a new set of hard tires because of all the safety cars since the new update. Dylan is already making swift progress again after his little awkward start crash. He's behind Lysadon Berry. Will he be able to take him down into turn 1? Yes, he will. Great move by Dylan. And Lysadon Berry does fight back, but Dylan doesn't let him. Meanwhile, number 22, Chaffee Mateos is holding off Dylan this time instead of Lysadon Berry. So, all 3 Ferrari powered cars. Meanwhile, this pack with Luke, Tim and Lion is also catching up. And so we have a Ferrari powered pack and we have a Dutch pack. Very massive train. He's doing a brilliant job keeping them behind, but I'm guessing it won't last much longer because Dylan is a way quicker driver than Chevy. Lysadon Berry does look feisty to get his place back here. What DRS could he possibly go for a move into the World Champions? No, he isn't able to, but Dylan might be able to do so on Chevy. He compromises the exit by having to go slow into the World Champions. He won't be able to attack Chevy here, I think. But he will hold off Lieutenant Barry for a little longer. This is very good for Felix, who just extends his gap. And this train, look at this train. Look at this train. Look how massive it is. Massive train. Jamil. Yellow flag in sector 3. That's for Raul, who's slowed down in the hope he won't get a penalty, and he's making an absolute mess of it, really. And Phil might be able to get him in at least then. Could his reserve teammate maybe put on a better drive than him? Meanwhile, Tim goes to hold off Lion. This time a move is inevitable from Dylan, I guess. I'm guessing. I'm fracking he'll make it here with the DRS and ERS deployment. Down the inside maybe here, no, still holds him off, and the gap towards Felix is getting bigger and bigger. And the train is also getting bigger and bigger. As Joost has joined the train as well, just like Sam. And a very nice cozy train there. Of course, these guys did already make the pit stop, and they're of course in traffic, so it won't do them any favors. But I reckon there will be another safety car in this race. Dylan past Chevy. Dylan has finally gotten past the Alfa Romeo driver, but there might be a problem for him again, as considering Chevy does have DRS and he has full ERS deployment here. So if he does want to go for a move, he's a little short on it, on ERS, but he might be able to pull something off after the World Champions. No, he pulls into the pits. And Lieutenant Barry says, thank you very much, I'll take up the podium place. And the train has been cut down a little. Felix also goes on to a new set of tires, and he just about comes out ahead of Chevy there, but he did have to pull into his pit stop box, and the other guys did have to wait considering a penalty. He goes on to the mediums. Okay then. I'm not too sure, and Luke is now up to a podium place, and Dylan meanwhile leads the race. Oh, look, and it's probably gonna be another disappointing finish for the Dutch driver here, as he's got no front wing anymore, and he sees his teammate and Lion both go past him, and Mariah looks to follow Lion through, but a move, no, he waits a bit, but he'll be surprised to see Luke has damage. There's still quite a massive train here, I must say, and Jo's been cut up right in it, but the gap towards Steve remains largely the same. Luke comes in together with Lieutenant Barry. Jo's already struggling a bit with the dirty air, I must say, of course. Big train. And Lieutenant Barry just comes up behind Jamil, and he fends him off as well. Good job by Jamil. Who puts him right into the hands of his teammate, Chevy Mateos. Oh, Jamil goes wide there. He has to be careful he doesn't drive into Lieutenant Barry. No, he loses some time, but he keeps his front wing, so that's a pretty good deal if you ask me. Phil's gently crossing on the gap towards Luke, who's now the nearest car ahead of him. He's still 28 seconds behind though. Lion could be pulling something off on Tim here. Oh, Joost also looks to go past, and Lion just about cuts him off, and he'll be looking to go for a move on Tim here, on the outside of the championship leader. Maybe no, he won't be able to do so, and instead loses the place to Joost. Question mark? No, he keeps the place for now. And there are some hard-fought battles going on. The safety car really did spice up things. And especially, of course, this amazing battling train is all thanks to Chevy, who hold them up quite a bit. What about now, huh? Will Joost or Lion be able to pull something off? Tosses right up to his Dutch buddy here, Tim Bunting, and he gets a little bit of oversteer. He's got to put him right towards Joost. And he'll go past. No, just about the whole time. They're probably gonna go side by side into the wall of champions. Oh, they're pushing each other on the straight. That's not very nice. And Lion pulls into the pits. Very aggressive driving from Lion. Of course, did already have a bit of a crazy incident in qualifying. He intentionally drove into the path of one of the Ferraris, I think it was. Pretty sure it was Lauderdale Berry. Could be wrong though. Felix moves out to P7. Hey, Chevy goes out with Lauderdale Berry. And what happened there then? And there's another safety car, as it looks like. And this was probably what Phil was hoping for. It's really stupid we can't switch to either Chevy or Lauderdale Berry. And Jamil, from being last, is now up in the points. Hey, Phil, what are you doing? Driving yourself in, intentionally driving yourself into the barrier. I think Phil's pissed. Oh, I think he may have a little bit of wing damage already. So it's a mystery what happened between Luke or Chevy and Lauderdale Berry then. And Joost, oh no, Steve, Tim pits. And so does Phil. And it was a virtual safety car. I'm very weird, I don't get any notification of what sort of safety car it is. And there are blue flags for, I'm guessing, Phil. And Luke goes past Jamil. By Jamil going to the pits. Traffic penalty, maybe no. Joost did lose some time in all that battling, as he's only now got a 2-second gap instead of a 3-second gap. Of course, I know what Phil's doing here. I mean, he's almost a minute behind the nearest person. That's Jamil. Very, very, very bad race for him due to no fault of his own, of course, after disconnecting again, just like last season. It's about what you expect from a British driver at this point. And Sam pulls into the pits. Sam into the pits for a new set of mediums. Yes. Mediums go off, mediums go on, and he's released again. Very good stop by the race point boys. Dylan still comfortably leading. And it's another disconnection for Phil, as that will probably be the final nail in the coffin for Phil. And Dylan goes wide here. Joost might be able to get him on this lap. Dylan goes defensive. Here we go, battle for the lead. Into the world champions, maybe, possibly. No, he goes into the pits. Oh my god. That could have been a very nasty incident. How many pit stops has everyone made? I'll just check real quickly. Disable information. Alright, there we go. So 1 stop for Dylan and a 2 stopper for Joost, who makes his 2nd stop of the race. So really, Dylan's out here fighting for the win legitimately, and he's lost his lead for now, as he's nearly pushing Steve into the corner, and Dylan for now has to settle for P2. And Marion sees this unfold ahead of him. Now will Dylan also up for a 2nd stop here? He surely has to, but will the time be now to make a 2nd stop? It will be a very late day for stewards here, I'm guessing. And Steve doesn't pull into the pits, but Marine opts to stay out together with Dylan. I'll just have a quick little cheeky look at penalties. Dylan has a penalty. Marine this time has a penalty. Lion has quite a few penalties, but he's kind of irrelevant towards the lead. And penalty for Joost as well. And Steve has only 2 warnings, so 3 seconds could be enough for him to win the race. Oh, Sam and Felix battling it out for P6. Sam has got the better end of the duel for now, as they're coming along to lap Phil Smith again. And Felix just rapidly dropping back at this point. And he lets Steve go. Oh, he has damage to his front wing. And I do love the commiseration by, or the commitment by Phil rather, as he still hasn't retired. Still hasn't given up yet. Oh, there's been a change at the front, and Marine now leads from Dylan. Dylan, who's rapidly dropping back at this point. Still in contention for victory. Of course, the longer you stretch these tires, the better your tires will be near the end of the race. But it's about weighing the risk and reward. And Dylan pulls into the pits. Marine goes for another lap. So does Lion. I'm pretty sure Lion has quite a few penalties as well. Very aggressive into the World Champions. And oh, interesting. Dylan goes for soft tires instead of the mediums. Now that tires will have to go 15 laps. That's very interesting here. And Steve comes out ahead of him. Lion, very long race for him. 21 viewers here. Thank you very much for the support. Sorry for the bad stream quality before this. but we are here nonetheless, and we have got a pretty exciting race. Now there is a time where things do start to settle a bit, and everyone is prepping themselves up for a titanium battle near the end of the race. Tim, very good recovery race from him. He will be happy for now. Just check penalties real quick. It's already very silent. Marine, has he picked up any more penalties? You know he has not. Just the same one. Lion has uncountable many penalties. And Joe's now picked up his second penalty. And Phil's also on his third warning. Sam has got a 5-second time penalty. And Steve still remains clean. Dylan, penalty plus warning. 2 penalties for him then. Luke, no penalties. No, 1 penalty, sorry. And no penalties for Felix either, but he is down in a very unhappy place in P9. And Joe's picked another one up for me while I was checking the penalties, so that means 9 seconds worth of penalties. Marine goes into the pits. I'm guessing he will also fit the soft tires then, just as Dylan. Yes, you will. And he goes out again as he says thank you to the Mercedes boys. Let's hope they won't be seeing him again, as that probably will mean he would have damage. He comes out in P7. Or does he? Yes, he does. Luke won't be able to attack his fellow Dutchman, and the last few laps of the race go in. So I'm pretty sure. Let me just check one last time just to get my information right. Tim would be winning the race, I'm pretty sure here. Just about to win the race on penalties. But he has to be careful as Steve doesn't have any sort of a penalty. And passing him now, Tim is not winning the race anymore. Of course, these cars are also very interesting to watch as they have the soft compound fitted to their car and will be lightning quick towards the rest of this pack. Steve has to dispatch of Sam quickly if he wants to defend his Canada Season 3 title. Of course, where you won the race. Meanwhile, we have Phil speaking in chat. I'm guessing he won't be too happy with his race as he's just been disconnecting all the time. And Phil, league admin, is asking for an invite, so I'll just quickly send him one then, I guess. Very disappointing race from him. I guess then, I'll just send him an invite. Could be good to hear some from one of these drivers. And Steve picked up his penalty. That does change the race quite dramatically, considering he was the only one not to pick up a penalty, and that will mean he'll generally have to get past Sam, Tim and Joost. I have sent Phil an invite, so hopefully he will be able to join us. The battle is heating up. Right now Tim would still be winning, but 9/10 more and he's out of contention to win the race. You want Steve still stuck behind Sam. To check the penalties again. Of course, one penalty less or more could change the course of this race. Joost, has he picked up any more penalties since we last talked about it? DRS enabled, huh? Very weird notification. Wasn't there DRS then for the whole for the whole race? Dylan also coming closer, of course, but he's not coming at rapid amount of speeds. And who is coming at rapid amount of speeds is Joost, who now goes into the lead. With 4 laps to go, and I see a bit of front wing flying around there. I think there was one from one of the rental cars. Of course, it had to be Tim then. He has picked up some damage, I'm guessing then, or it could be some leftovers from debris. Now that extra damage might make it that any bit harder. And I have to say, I have to admit, this man is on for another very good consistent result again. But so is this man. Of course, very sad to miss the first 2 races. But he came here, and now he's on a course to win a second race in a row from Tim and Sam. I'm guessing Lion won't be on the podium with all the penalties he has. Oi! Tim goes off the track and he has front wing damage. And goodbye consistent result. And Lion, what are you doing, Lion? Lion! What are you doing? What happened there? So another safety car. And Lion's pissed off some more people, it seems. Team with front wing damage. 3 laps to go. Could the race possibly end off under safety car conditions here? Sorry, I was looking at some incidents of other drivers, and then out of nowhere I just see Lion and a Renault swerving across the track. Meanwhile, VRL Racing Point contacted me in a chat that Lion possibly drove purposely into Sam, and Tim has to make a pit stop as well for a new front wing because he came out ahead of Lion and Sam. It seems to be that way, yes. His luck might be that there's a safety car, but he does see his rival Luke go past. He was in a hard tire. And I'm not sure if it's even possible to have the race finish on a safety car conditions, but to be honest, I would only be fair. Because, I mean, Joe's seriously been screwed at this point. As he does have Marine has no penalties. Could he redeem himself from last season where he did lose some penalties? That would be interesting. He has one penalty compared to the 3 seconds worth of penalties from Steve. These gentlemen both have 6 seconds, and I've seen track limits on the safety car conditions. He's Lion seriously has to behave himself as in in Baku he already intentionally drove into someone, and now in Canada in qualifying he was also screwing up. Meanwhile the left car of Phil goes past to lap himself, and Tim is up in P5 instead of his P2, and I'm pretty sure one man is very happy with the safety car conditions. Marine, he could possibly win the race from this position after what were very disappointing results from him before. Oh! Lion and Luke have crashed out on the safety car conditions. And Luke seems to be the unlucky one, and it's another incident from Lion, and I am not afraid to say that might be the last time he'll be racing in VRL, because this is unacceptable. Unacceptable. He's intentionally crashing out people at this point just because he's a bit salty, and now he intentionally did crash himself out, and that would only justify things as that's very unlucky from the perspective of Luke. He just intentionally drove into him. Lion, you are making some unacceptable moves. One man will be happy with those unacceptable moves. That's Jamil, as he moves up some more free positions. And Luke has been really has been a bit of a dickhead, sorry for the word. And his teammate still goes on to live the dream to win the race, possibly from Marine, but Marine has only 0 penalties, I believe, or 3 seconds worth of penalties compared towards Team and Lion. And Steve still holds off the challenge of Marine, and it's Marine who finishes P2 instead of P1, and it's Joost who drops down to P3. Very unlucky for him with the safety car, and it's Steve who wins again in Canada, just like last season, after a very controversial race, because Phil's ghost car does come home to finish P8, but a very weird race thanks to a Lion. And it's someone says sneaky Steve, and it has to be said, he's basically been invisible, but he is here to pick up another trophy just like last season, and that's 2 out of 3. And it's a very good drive from Steve, who picks up the winner's trophy here. Now, there's been some controversial, quite a weird race, and I'm not sure if it will be suitable to do the post-race interviews at this point. You and I have to come a bit from the shock. I'll leave the podium interviews for what they are, really, because it's been a very weird race and a lot of discussing has to be done after this one, so I'll leave the post-race interviews for what they are, as some drivers might not be too happy with others driving. So I'll leave what they are. I hope you can join us next race, which should be a bit cleaner after the ridiculous driving of Lion here in this race. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.